Hi everyone, this is Jonathan. Welcome to Systems, Security, and Governance. Let me start with a simple question. If ITIL is such a best practice framework, why do so many IT teams with ITIL certifications still deal with outages, slow changes, and frustrated business users? And here's another one. Have you ever studied ITIL, passed the exam, joined a large organization, and then thought, wait, this looks nothing like the book? If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. What you're seeing is the gap between ITIL on paper and ITIL in the real world. And here's the important part. That gap is not a failure. It's actually how ITIL is meant to be used. In this video, we're going to break down what ITIL really is beyond certification and theory, why it's so often misunderstood, and how real U.S. enterprises actually use ITIL day to day. By the end, I want you to stop seeing ITIL as an exam and start seeing it as a tool that can actually move your career forward. Let's rewind for a moment. ITIL didn't start as a certification. It started as a set of guidance to help large organizations deliver IT services more consistently. But over time, something changed. ITIL slowly turned into a checklist, then a compliance exercise, and for many people, just another exam to pass. Here's the problem. Books are clean, but enterprises are not. Real organizations are messy, they're political, they're heavily regulated, and they're under constant pressure to move faster. So when teams try to implement ITIL exactly the way it's written, things break down fast. I've seen U.S. enterprises spend months documenting processes while incidents keep piling up and the business loses patience. That's when ITIL gets labeled as slow, bureaucratic, or outdated. But that's not ITIL's fault. That's just the wrong way to use it. Here's the mindset shift most people miss. ITIL is not a process manual. It's a decision-making framework. ITIL doesn't tell you which tools to buy. It doesn't tell you how many approvals you need. And it definitely doesn't tell you how fast you have to move. What it gives you is something more important: principles, trade-offs, and a shared language between IT and the business. In real enterprises, ITIL works more like a map than a GPS. It shows you the direction, but you still decide the route. And if you're involved in governance or leadership, that distinction matters a lot. Think of your IT department like a kitchen in a busy restaurant. Without clear processes, chefs bump into each other, orders get delayed, and customers get upset. ITIL is the set of recipes and kitchen rules that keep things moving, even when it gets chaotic. Now let's look at a real example. Take a US-based e-commerce company during the holiday season. Thousands of transactions every hour. Without structured practices, a single outage can cost millions in lost revenue and customer trust. With ITIL-aligned practices like incident management, change control, and problem management, teams can restore service faster, prevent repeat issues, and keep the business running when it matters most. One common misconception I hear all the time is that ITIL is rigid or overly bureaucratic. That's not true. ITIL is meant to be flexible. Modern ITIL works alongside DevOps, Agile, cloud platforms, and automation. The real challenge isn't ITIL, it's how teams choose to implement it. And here's the real twist. Having a certification doesn't mean you're using ITIL well. A lot of certified professionals struggle because they know the theory, but not how to apply it in a real environment. The value of ITIL is in practice, not on paper. And one more reality check. Executives don't care about ITIL terminology. They don't care about practice names or service value systems. They care about outcomes. Are systems stable? Are we staying out of regulatory trouble? Are customers happy? Are we managing cost and risk? If ITIL helps achieve those goals, leadership is on board. If ITIL becomes a blocker, the business will find a way around it. That's why the best IT leaders use ITIL quietly and strategically. So let's wrap this up. ITIL is not just a certification. It's not a rigid rulebook. It's a reference model that helps you make better decisions in messy, real-world environments. Once you understand that, ITIL stops feeling boring and starts becoming powerful. In the next video, we'll break down ITIL versus ITSM versus service management and why mixing those up can hurt your credibility in meetings and interviews. If this video helped you see ITIL differently, subscribe to the channel and let me know in the comments. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.